Hello and welcome to another Steps of Sussex live channel episode. First of all, before we start, let me just adjust the camera because it's a little bit low and you can't quite see all of my hair, which would be a terrible tragedy. Anyway, so it's been a while. It really has been a while. So I need to, if you don't know, I've been a little bit poorly. Matt and myself have been, Matt's my partner if you didn't know. We have been a little bit poorly, not with COVID, not with the dreaded Rona. Matt was tested, I caught what he had. It's just been a regular cold. I've been so snotty and congested, it's been awful. I've managed to do a few voiceovers here and there on previous videos, but it took so many attempts to get something that didn't sound congested or snotty or horrible. Anyway, I'm over the worst of it. I managed to do my first live chat on Royal Reviewer yesterday, so I feel like I've got a huge catch up to do. In fact, I've got a list. I mean, literally my list is like all the way down there. And basically, I don't know where to start with the list. So I'm going to start with some stories that have been happening over the last few days. But if you want me, just the same as I did in the Royal Reviewer chat yesterday, if you want to ask me anything about anything that's been going on over the past maybe 3 weeks, leave a question. It is a live chat. I will try to read and try to get through as many as I possibly can. But I do want to tackle today Harry and Meghan's sort of Archie photos court win. I want to talk about International Day of the Girl with Malala. Also, what the Butler has been saying. What has Paul Burrell been saying? And Harry and Meghan were out on a date night. So those are the things that I really want to talk about at the moment. So I can see people dropping in. So hello to all of you. Right, I'm going to start, I think, with news that came out last night. In fact, some people sent me links, but I had seen it anyway. So the news came out kind of fairly late for me in the UK, so I thought I'd wait until today to actually tackle it. Please excuse me while I put on my old man reading glasses, even if it is a little bit shiny and reflective. But Harry and Meghan have a news agency apology over the drone photos of Archie. So if you didn't know, Harry and Meghan, amongst other lawsuits, put one in over the kind of paparazzi pictures that were taken whilst they were staying in Tyler Perry's mansion. There was these photos of Archie and Doria, and the photos were actually taken on Tyler Perry's property, so it was on private property. Of course, Harry and Meghan, didn't approve of this. They didn't permit anyone to take pictures, so they took legal action. And at the time, there was this whole big thing about who actually took the pictures, because the pictures were shopped and sold to different news agencies to be published. So in the UK, I don't think they did actually publish the photos, but they were available online. I did actually see the photographs myself. But Harry and Meghan wanted more information. I think in the law case, they were describing the person as John Doe and all that kind of thing. Anyway, it was an unnamed person, and it was obviously during the coronavirus lockdown. Harry and Meghan at the time described it as an invasion of privacy. Turns out, after a bit of digging and research, that the agency who was responsible for those photos was X17. And they have agreed to reimburse some of the royal couple's legal fees. We do not know how much that is, but apparently X17, I hadn't even heard of them, but apparently they are a very well-known LA kind of paparazzi celebrity photo agency. Anyway, not just are they going to reimburse some of the legal fees, they have also agreed, and I think quite rightly so, to hand over the photos that they have, the physical copies if they have any, but also to destroy any copies that they hold, even if that is in digital form. And they've also promised to stop distributing the images. So according to court documents, of course, Harry and Meghan were living at Tyler Perry's home when the photographs were taken. Their lawyer, Michael Kump, said, Over the summer, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex took action against intrusive and illegal paparazzi photos taken of their family at a private residence. This is a successful outcome. All families have a right protected by law to feel safe and secure at home. According to the legal action filed in July, the couple were constantly being followed by paparazzi who tracked them down following their move to the US, flying helicopters overhead and cutting holes in their security fences. And of course, we saw Harry and Meghan erecting that big kind of paparazzi screen. Laws in California make photographing or filming anyone on their home by use of drone or telephoto lenses illegal. In a statement, X17 said, "We apologise." Hang on, just wait a minute, I'll just press a button. "We apologise to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and their son for the distress we have caused. We were wrong to offer these photographs and commit to not doing so again." So basically, they have promised not to do so. Let me just check my power pack. I think it's slightly on its way out. I don't want to kind of cut off from you at any point. Let me just plug in before we resume. I'm hoping that's plugged in. I had a little thing on the screen saying low of power. Anyway, in separate legal action, of course, ongoing against the Mail on Sunday and the Mail Online, Meghan is still suing for breach of privacy and copyright infringement over the publication of a letter that, of course, she wrote to her father, which was then later published. No, it is not. The charger is not on for some strange reason. Let me see if I can do that again. I really don't want to run out of power. Hang on just a second. There we go. Right. I'm hoping the power lasts. Anyway, there we are with regards to all of that. So I can see lots and lots of people commenting all about that. Yes, it is a crime to stalk and harass in America, and definitely not to take photos of children without parental permission. Yes, indeed. Right, I am going to kind of move on now to the next story because I'm conscious that I may literally drop out of power at any moment. So, I do still have a little bit of a tickle. Anyway, so it is coming up for International Day of the Girl. And Harry and Meghan have announced that they are going to be talking to Malala. So, they are teaming up with renowned activist Malala Yousafzai to ring in this year's International Day of the Girl. We can confirm it is actually happening on October the 11th, so make a date in your calendar at 4 p.m. EST time. Both Harry and Meghan will join Malala for a live video chat where the trio will discuss the barriers that currently prevent 130 million girls across the globe from gaining access to education. My voice is going again. Do you see what happens? Whenever I try to make a video, my voice literally goes, and then I have to have a big cough. Anyway, the conversation, which will be live streamed through YouTube and the Malala Fund's social media channels, will discuss why it's essential that we champion every girl's right to learn. So there you go. You will be able to watch this live. Of course, Malala has been outspoken with regards to girls having the right to a fair education since 2012. Now, if you don't remember, Malala was involved in a very terrible assassination attempt. It was absolutely dreadful. She was on a bus and anyway, she survived this literal assassination attempt because she was trying to get an education. She was trying to make a stand. And anyway, she survived. And she was actually flown to the UK where she received treatment for those injury. Anyway, she quickly became an international feminist figurehead with global support. And of course, she used this newfound platform to further project and further women's rights, and especially young girls with regards to education. She went on to become a co-recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014 and later operated and opened and launched the Malala Fund, which she co-founded alongside her father. And of course, Meghan has also been committed to empowering young women and advocating for gender equality. So it's going to be a really good and powerful union and match when they come together and join forces to project all of their ethos and their values and what they stand for. Of course, during Meghan's time as a working royal, she often centred around women's issues, and of course, she centred around women's issues before she joined the royal family as well. Of course, Meghan teamed up with the likes of SmartWorks, and she regularly spoke about matters of equality with students, and of course, young activists during empowering video messages, especially since stepping back from being a senior royal for the Girls Up Leadership Summit. I'm sure we all remember that one. Of course, I watched that myself. Right, I'm going to go kind of back to the comments. Louisa says, the glasses make you look very distinguished and not old at all. Well, thank you so much. Lauren's read Malala's book. I haven't read it, but you say it's a very emotional read. So yes, set your date for the 11th of October. That is coming up, and you will be able to watch that around the world. Right, I'm going to move on because I'm very conscious that literally I can't see if my power pack is plugged in, and I'm hoping it is. But anyway. And also, my voice is starting to fail me again. I thought I was going to be okay, but you can see why I haven't been making live chats. Anyway, because some people commented, why haven't... They moaned at me. Why haven't you been doing videos? And I'm like, I've been poorly. I've been literally ill. I mean, can't you tell from my voice? So cut me some slack, okay? I've been ill. Matt and myself have been really ill. Anyway, not the COVID, not the Rona, just literally a really bad cold. Anyway, Paul Burrell, the butler, Diana's former butler, has been talking, and he was talking on Lorraine today. Lorraine is a kind of morning TV show here in the UK, and they often talk about royal stories amongst other different kind of things. Anyway, they were interviewing Paul Burrell today. I have listened to the clip, which of course is copyrighted, so I can't show you, but I am going to read little bits about what the butler said. What do you think he said? Anyway, basically it boils down to he's kind of said that he thinks, in his opinion, let me know what you think, he thinks that Harry will give a major television interview in a matter of time. Let me know what you think. I mean, of course, having stepped back from being senior working royals, Harry agreed to uphold the values and standards of the Queen. Of course, we don't know quite what those values and standards are. That was never kind of published or revealed, what the details of their kind of stepping back arrangement was. We do know that there was obviously a 12-month review, which is up in April, coming up. So we don't know what's going to happen with regards to all of that. But one thing that we can most certainly say is that because of the Netflix deal and because it was pitched as being a multi-year deal, we know that multi-year means more than one. So we definitely know that they aren't going to be back. At least, sorry, I'm coughing again. It's all kind of phlegm and all that. You don't want to know the details. Anyway, do excuse me. So they signed obviously a big money deal with Netflix, multi-year. So if anybody did hold out any hopes of them kind of rejoining the royal family for royal duties, it certainly isn't going to be until the Netflix deal is up. And even then, Harry and Meghan may decide, of course, that they literally just don't ever want to come back and do royal duties. So in terms of kind of my own opinion on that, I don't think they will be rejoining the royal family in terms of royal duties. Of course, that's not to say they can't attend kind of family functions. In fact, actually, Trooping the Colour is actually classed as a family birthday celebration. So, you know, we could still get Harry and Meghan in the carriage, just not Harry riding in a military capacity. We could still have them standing on the balcony with the rest of the royal family for Trooping the Colour. They could still attend the Queen's annual Christmas Day lunch for the extended family who aren't going to be at Balmoral. So we can still, you know, they still might be involved in terms of kind of, you know, being, you know, still on the stage, but not in a kind of official royal capacity. Of course, talking about Christmas, there's been talk that Meghan is looking forward very much to spending Christmas in their new home in Montecito. So we don't think that they're going to be coming over for, sorry, not Balmoral, a Sandringham, for a Sandringham Christmas. We don't think that they are going to be coming over and staying with the royals at Sandringham this year. So yeah, he has said it's only a matter of time before the couple give an exclusive panorama-style interview. And we know that Paul Burrell was actually involved with some of the kind of hiding Martin Bashir, kind of getting him into the palace to do Diana's kind of famous televised interview. He has said, he kind of spoke about Diana and kind of Meghan comparisons. So he said, Meghan is of now and Diana is of then. So he was kind of asked that does he think that kind of Meghan and Diana are very much kind of similar personality types. So in response to that, he said, Meghan is of now, she's a modern woman, and Diana was of her time, she was of then. Meghan is a modern woman with modern ideas. And of course, they're going to do things differently. They're ramping up more because I can see Harry and Meghan going through into Netflix. Well, tell us something we don't know, Paul. We know very, very much that they've got the Netflix deal. He said, can you not see Harry and Meghan at home on Netflix? That would be a great show to watch. So he was kind of saying, you know, kind of in a similar vein to the Kardashians and the Osbournes of their time. Will Harry and Meghan make kind of, you know, an at-home with Harry and Meghan style documentary or show on Netflix? Personally, I don't think that that's going to be the case at all. In fact, Harry and Meghan have only kind of, their spokesperson over recent weeks have said that there are only currently 2 shows in development and not any of them are of a reality show basis. I think one was a kids TV show and one was something else. So definitely there are no plans as of yet. Let's put it that way. A Sussex spokesperson did confirm. So no reality TV show on the cards yet. So I don't agree with Paul there. He says it's only a matter of time before they give a major interview to someone huge in the US and do a similar panorama-style interview to the world. I mean, I'm not terribly sure they will. I still think that Harry, although, you know, he's distanced from his family at the moment, I don't think he would do that. I think he still has, obviously, respect for his family, even though they've been going through difficulties. I don't think we're going to see a panorama-style interview. Of course, I would be very shocked if they did. And, of course, we'd be talking about it here on Steps of Sussex if they decided to. But personally, from a personal point of view, I can't see that happening. Like I said, Harry did kind of promise to uphold the values and standards of the Queen. And I think also Harry has seen how that kind of panorama interview that Diana did, how much that kind of hurt fellow family members. So if he kind of understands the hurt that caused and the distress to the family and to himself as well, obviously that interview kind of caused a bit of distress to himself. If he did decide to do that, I think he would know that that would be kind of a little bit like a weapon. It would be to kind of weaponize something against his family, and I can't personally see him do that. Maybe I'm looking through rose-tinted spectacles, I don't know, but I can't see him weaponizing something against his family. Let me know what you think. I know people are going to have different opinions on what they think Harry and Meghan might do, but I don't see that on the cards, and I certainly don't see it on the cards anytime soon. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of... I mean, lots of people have been saying Netflix will want their pound of flesh from Harry and Meghan, but I don't think that's going to come in the form of a reality TV interview. Diana Brown says, giving bad big interview, not be seen as a bad thing. It's been done before by others, including Sarah. Yeah, but Sarah was divorced from Andrew. She had surrendered the HRH. She was no longer a duchess in her own right. She really was a private person. So not quite the same level scenario to compare kind of Sarah with Harry and Meghan. They haven't lost their HRHs. They're still the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, which was given obviously as a royal wedding present. And Sarah didn't promise to uphold the values and standards of the Queen. Natasha says Harry is not distant from his family. He's with his family in Montecito. The royals are his relatives. His family is Archie and Meghan. I see what you mean. I see your point. But I would kind of disagree on the fact that his family is also the royal family. Yes, he has his immediate family, which of course is Meghan and Archie, and of course any other children that may decide to appear on along the way. But you know, Meghan also has a family, and Harry has a family. But his immediate family, you are quite right, are Meghan and Archie. Diana Brown says, are you okay? I've not heard from you for a while. I've been ill with a really bad cold and I'm still getting over it, but I'm okay to be able to come on and do some catch-ups. Right, I'm going to kind of read up and see if there's any comments which have kind of caught my eye. Right, I'm going to move on, I think, to the final story that I want to talk about today, which is double date night for Prince Harry and Meghan with David Foster and Catherine McPhee. And this was obviously to celebrate, we think, her pregnancy news. Not Meghan's pregnancy news, Catherine McPhee's pregnancy news. And this was at a 3-hour dinner. I don't know who timed them. I don't know who sat there, actually set the clock to see how fast they would eat. But I imagine with 3 hours, you know, it could have been 3 courses. At apparently a very pricey steakhouse in Montecito. I would like to go. Has anyone been? So apparently this happened on Tuesday night. Obviously now we are Friday here in the UK. So on Thursday, so that was on Tuesday. On Thursday, it was announced that Catherine and Foster were expecting a baby together. Well, I should hope that it was together. And while this will be their first child, Foster already has 5 biological children from previous marriages. So apparently the steak at this restaurant can go for round about $125, and it's the first time that Harry and Meghan have actually been seen out and about since since it was revealed that they moved to Montecito. Now, obviously, it might not mean it's the first time they've been out. It means the first time that they've been basically paparazzi'd out. So these are paparazzi photographs. I am not going to show them on the channel. I've made a decision not to show paparazzi photographs. I did that ages ago. So no, I'm not going to show the paparazzi photographs, but I will describe them so that you can kind of get a feel for them if you haven't seen them yet. So Meghan and Catherine, if you didn't know, attended the same school growing up, although they weren't close friends at the time. However, the couples have met whilst they were in London, and Catherine was performing in the West End musical Waitress, which I have not seen. So earlier this month, it was reported that Harry and Meghan would be hosting a Christmas soiree. Doesn't that sound posh? In California, and plan on inviting Foster and Catherine. I don't know the legitimacy of that, but a Christmas soiree sounds nice. I wonder if there'll be canapes. I wonder, avocado and toast canapes maybe. So anyway, they had a cozy double date to celebrate the pregnancy news, and apparently. Does it say, does anyone know what they had to eat? I don't think so. All we know is it was a steakhouse. There we go. Oh, and also seafood. It says seafood as well. So apparently the McPhee and Foster arrived at 7:20. I don't know who was timing. I mean, who was waiting outside the restaurant? Who even knew that Harry and Meghan were going to be there? It kind of makes you think, doesn't it? Because they've actually got specific times. Makes you wonder. Anyway, did they know that they were coming? I have no idea. It just seems rather weird to have specific times and have people wait. I mean, do people wait outside that restaurant all the time? I don't know. I've never been. Anyway, Harry and Meghan pulled up 10 minutes later in a chauffeured SUV with security. Maybe it was the same one that we saw before. So anyway, from what I can see from the photographs, and I am not going to show them, the photographs were taken by Backgrid Photo Agency. Harry looks like he is wearing a kind of navy face mask. Meghan is wearing a kind of a cream. I mean, the photos are slightly blurry. A cream mask. Her hair is down. From the eye makeup that I can see, looks rather good. She's wearing what I can only describe as like a camel kind of, I don't know, cashmere type top with the same kind of tone coat. Harry looks like he's wearing a white shirt with a collar. The first couple of buttons are open. I'm just scrolling down the photographs to see if I can see any other details. Oh, Meghan's wearing cut-off jeans. Cut-off jeans to the just above the ankle, and some kind of orange heels, I think. And she's carrying a bag. Looks very. I mean, they just look like a couple out and about to enjoy a meal. You know, looking very good. Ooh, apparently the heels. I was right. They are orange. They're by Chloe Gosselin. Apparently, £467 if you work in pounds. Wow. There we go. Wow. They do look good. I do like the shoes. The shoes look very good. Harry's shirt, by the way, is not tucked in. It's out and loose, nice and cool and refreshing. And there we go. I don't have any photographs of the other couple. And there's no reports about what food they ate or anything of that nature. Yeah, just a load of basically blurry photographs. So I'm going to return back to the live stream and see what people are saying. Francis says, I've seen it, and she didn't say anything outright. It was a stretch to interpret her statement. Oh, talking about the interviews that, or the video chats that Meghan and Harry have given, where they've been encouraging people to vote. I think when it comes down to it, what people have to remember is, and I've been thinking about this myself a lot, and I absolutely agree 100% with Meghan. People should be encouraged to vote. You know, for those of us who live in democratic societies where people have fought long and hard for us to have the right to vote, we should be encouraged to go out to vote, and there is nothing wrong with encouraging people to go out and vote. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And as far as I'm aware, people haven't been criticising Meghan for encouraging people to vote. And in particular, I think Meghan was encouraging females to go out and vote. I don't think anyone has an issue with that. I certainly don't have an issue with that. And certainly, you know, Meghan is still, has always been entitled to vote in the American elections, and obviously she's going to vote this time around. I think what people have to remember is that Meghan is different to every other American voter, US voter, I should say, that is in existence in the world right now, because she is the only US citizen that also technically has a British HRH. Now, of course, when you have a HRH, regardless of what other nationality you might be, it still has diplomatic implications, and that is just the basic fact of it. I'm not going to sit here and preach the rights and the wrongs about things. I'm literally going to just tell it as it is. Harry and Meghan still have the HRH. It's not been taken away. They are not using it in an official capacity for work, but they still have it. So Meghan, unlike any other American citizen, is different on the point that she has a British HRH, and that does have diplomatic implications. So there is nothing wrong with saying and encouraging people to go out and vote. I would tell people, and I would urge people to go out and vote as well, and I'm going to do that. But where Meghan had the criticism was that was everything around it. And it wasn't even just the words that she said, because Meghan, quite rightly, people have pointed out in various comments, she hasn't actually, or Harry, hasn't actually come out and said, vote for this person or vote for that person. But when you look around it, what platform they are on, who they are sharing that platform with, advocating for change, the change we all deserve, on that particular platform with people that are not of mixed political persuasions, only people that are of one particular political persuasion, it can be seen as supporting and favouring one particular political party. And I think we all know what that is. In fact, do yourself the test now. If I was to ask you, who do you think Meghan is going to vote for in the upcoming election, what would you instantly say? Would you say, I don't know. I don't really know who Meghan's going to vote for in the upcoming election? Or do you actually know who Meghan is going to vote for? Because I think I get an impression of who Meghan is going to vote for. Not least of all because obviously pre marrying Harry, Meghan had a voice, and obviously she voiced her political voice before even meeting Harry, so we kind of know that anyway. But certainly if you look at the platforms that she's been on, who she's shared it with, since then, of course, we had the garden chat as well, and all the rest of it. So we have to not just look at the set words of what she said, it's looking around it, what platform, who it's with, the advocating for change we all deserve, and I think it all kind of leads to one particular direction, which can have diplomatic implications for being, the granddaughter-in-law of the monarch of a country, of a sovereign state. Also, people have been saying about the HRH title. Could it be removed? Could it be stripped? Personally, I don't think the Queen herself wants to remove any titles. The palace was actually forced, when asked, to distance themselves from Harry and Meghan's comments by saying that the comments were made in a personal and private capacity. So already the palace has been forced to kind of distance themselves from Harry and Meghan's comments. The thought is, how long can the palace keep on doing that for? I don't think the Queen wants to remove the titles. I think that was quite evident from the arrangements that were made at the #Sandringham Summit. But the Queen, as we know, is bound by the government, the elected government. This is how a constitutional monarchy works. The people elect the government run the country, the Queen rubber stamps what the government decide. If Harry and Meghan start to say things and do things that are politically sensitive, that put Britain in a tricky diplomatic position, it might not be the Queen that removes the titles. It could actually be the government. It could be the British government that kind of force the hand, that actually push for the removal of these titles to formally distance Harry and Meghan from political Britain, if you like. So I just want to put that thought out there, because that is a very real situation that could happen. I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about the rights and wrongs of both. I am just saying what Harry and Meghan are doing, what they have done, and what the implications of that could be. Now, the bigger picture is, do Harry and Meghan even care? Do they even give whatever? I was going to say a naughty word, but I stopped myself. Do they give anything? Do they care about that? Only time will tell. Only Harry and Meghan will know whether or not they're going to be bothered by the titles being removed. That is the situation where we are in. So I just wanted to point out, because people might not have kind of, added it into their thought process, that actually Meghan is in a different position to everybody else, every other US citizen, because she does have those 3 little letters before her name, the HRH, and it does have implications. That is all I am going to say on that matter, because that may have been something that you haven't considered. It may be something that other channels or social media accounts might not be putting out, mainly because they want to avoid the situation that is actually there, that this is a very real situation that could happen. So there we go. Anne says the Queen has asked people to vote. Yes, the Queen has. The Queen has, in the capacity of monarch of a country, and the Queen has urged people to go out and vote. And the occasion which you are referring to is the matter of the Welsh Assembly. So Wales was kind of it was called devolution. So Wales, back about, was it early 2000, was given its own parliament. So the people of Wales got to vote to elect basically their own Welsh government. So at the opening of the first Welsh Parliament, the Queen shared a platform, and this goes back to what I was saying about it's not just the words you say, and there is nothing wrong with encouraging people to vote. The Queen has done it, but she's done it on what shall I call an apolitical platform. She did it in the it was a speech in the newly formed Welsh Parliament, of which she is a sovereign queen of. She had every right to encourage people to vote in one of her realms. She did it on a platform, a shared platform, with people from all political parties. Nobody knew, or had any idea who the Queen would perhaps want people to vote for. But she did it in a very different capacity to how Meghan has been speaking. The Queen encouraging people to vote in her own realm does not have any diplomatic implications because she has every single right to do so. Meghan, unfortunately, saying what she has said does have a diplomatic implication. There is a difference. And again, people probably haven't explained that clearly because they don't know. I mean, that's another thing. People need to be very careful about who they listen to because people just don't know the facts. They don't know the ins and outs about these things. Let's have a look. I'm going to kind of read up a little bit. Annie thinks that Harry and Meghan don't care about the HRH. Titles are only relevant to the Brits. They may very well not care, and the thing is, time will tell. Time will tell. Karen says, in the US, Harry is, in my opinion, not considered a statesman by the majority of citizens. He is seen as part of the royal family and is given respect for his title. He will not be able to sway us. I mean, again, I kind of agree with your point. Back when Britain was going through the whole Brexit referendum, President Obama tried to weigh in on and kind of tried to sway the British public in which way to vote in that referendum, and people at the time didn't take very favourably to being told how to vote by someone who basically has no connection to the country. Francis says, thanks for that clarification regarding the Queen RE voting. Thank you. And also, I actually went a few weeks ago and I actually found the Queen's speech that she read out at the Welsh Assembly, and there was nothing in the speech that could be taken to mean anything other than literally just encouraging people to vote. And I think had Meghan encouraged people to vote on maybe her own I mean, maybe if they got their own Instagram account, or just, if she just encouraged people to vote that wasn't on a platform with people that were aligned to one particular political side, I don't think there would have been the reaction that we saw. As I said, it's not literally just the words you say, it's the whole kit and caboodle, as we say here in the UK. Lisa says, thanks for the clear, non-judgmental explanations about the Sussexes. You are more than welcome. Anne says, I am done with your channel. Well, that is perfectly fine because, as I said, at the moment there is so much gaslighting going on, and people, lots of different channels and different social media accounts are telling, and have been doing for a while now, are telling people only what they think their audience want to hear, and they aren't actually giving an impartial look at the Sussexes at all. And that is what this channel is about. It's about trying to look at as many facts as we possibly can, and trying to explain things clearly, and looking at all different avenues and explanations. And if that is not for people, if I am not telling people what they want to hear, then I make no apologies for that. I am telling you things as they are seen. And if people don't like that, if people want to stick their head in the sand, then that is entirely up to them. It's up to you. So there we go. Andrea says, thank you for this thoughtful explanation. This is why I come to your channel. You are more than welcome. Yes, it's Prince Andrew that is currently undergoing the troubles with regards to the Jeffrey Epstein case, not Prince Edward. I'm just reading out a comment there. Nikki says, your channel is awesome. Thanks. You are more than welcome. Like I say, I've got a big, massive, long list of things that because I've been ill, I haven't been able to make videos on. So I invite you all in the comments section of this video, if you want me to talk about something that I've missed, or if you have a question about anything that I've said in this chat, or something that you want me to answer in a future video, leave a comment in the comments box below the video, and when I come on next, I will go back and try and read through as many questions as I possibly can. Diana says, what did you think about Meghan appearing on the US talent show? Well, of course, it's always good when we celebrate talent and we celebrate diversity. It's always good. So where someone has a talent that may need to have a light shone on, where someone can use their platform that they have built to shed a light on other people or a cause, then I think it's always a good thing. So yes, I am perfectly in favour of celebrating and raising talent where there is talent. Karen says, I have no opinion on Meghan or Harry as a US citizen, but I will say their opinions on politics does not mean much to me. I think people are having politics overload at the moment, and I completely understand. We've had several different referendums and elections in the past in Britain. In the US, there is a really important election coming up, the presidential election, which is going to set the pace and the tone for the US over the next coming 4 years. And people do need to think very carefully about the pros and the cons of both sides. And I would implore people, if you're not registered, go out and register. And of course, it's not just enough to register to vote. You have to actually go out and vote, or else you cannot moan, you cannot complain. Don't come to me and moan if the person that you wanted to get in doesn't get in. You have to take that step to go out and actually vote. It's not just enough to register, you have to actually go out and do it. And I would implore people, no matter what country you're in, if you have an election coming up, you have to vote. You have to exercise your democratic right to vote. BD says, I stopped watching all news lately because I am sick and overloaded with all the negativity regarding this election. I mean, we've seen it from this side of the pond as well. We've seen the TV debates coming back and all that thing. So yeah, I mean, I personally am very interested in politics, and I follow lots of different countries' elections, and I actually find an election to be very exciting and empowering. And I always think it's good when every 4 years in the US case, that people get re-energized about politics and these conversations happen, and we get to actually vote for who we want to be in charge of us for the next, however long the term is in the country that you're voting for. So yeah, I find elections to be empowering, and I will be really closely, as I always do, following the US election. The US system is different to what it is in the UK with regards to voting. We don't have the college electoral system, but I do find it very interesting. But I can already see election fatigue setting in already. Hello to Bus Babs, who says quite a long time before you've caught me online. Yeah, I've not been on for a while. Brenda says, thank you. You're doing a great service. You're right about how people use their platform. I have noticed how things are explained. I just learned something new because of you. Thank you. You are more than welcome. I am here to help. Karen says, I love politics too. This is why their opinion will not sway me. I get my facts from the politicians themselves. Okay. Right, I am going, of course, to go now. I think I've been on for 45 minutes. So, if you found this video useful, if it's enlightened you in any kind of way, please give it, of course, a big old thumbs up. As I said, if you want me to answer anything that I've missed, just so that I'm not so daunted about trying to catch up with everything, leave a comment and I will try and answer it in an upcoming video. Also, like I say, if you want anything clarifying that I've mentioned in this video, if I haven't explained something in enough detail, do of course let me know. Right, okay, I am going to go. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and also do hit the bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. And if you do not want to be gaslighted like other people are doing, and you just want to hear, you know, kind of exactly how things are happening as they unfold, then Steps of Sussex is the channel for you. So from me, mwah, in Shropshire, goodbye. Until next time.